Anil ji, there was also Hamare Tumhare with Haribhai.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Matter of fact, my first time I faced the camera in 1977 was in Hamar Tumhare, and Haribhai was the leading man. He played my father in the film, and and obviously that was the beginning of my career. And 79, the film released, 1979. So whenever people ask me, I said, how many years since you are, acting? So I said, if you count from 79, and thanks to Haribhai, that I was, there in the film, and people, I don't know if they noticed me or not, because I just had a very big role. But that's what I learned from Haribhai, कि रोल बड़ा छोटा नहीं होता है, धीरे 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 छोटे छोटे रोल करके कहीं ना कहीं आपको कोई ना कोई नोटिस करेगा. और अगर आप में टैलेंट है, अगर आप कुछ कर सकते हो, तो कहीं आप दूर भी बैठे रहेंगे तो आपको नोटिस करेगा और आपको काम मिलना शुरू हो जाएगा. तो इसी तरह हरिभाई की तरह मैंने भी अपना करियर शुरू किया, उनसे ही इंस्पायर होके छोटे छोटे रोल करके. सो हमारे तुम्हारे मेरा एक छोटा सा रोल था जहाँ मैं हरिभाई के जितने काफ़ी बच्चे हैं उस फिल्म में, तो उनमें मैं आई वाज हिज वन ऑफ हिज सन्स विद लकी पक्की एंड देयर वाज राकेश बेदी. सो 4-5 बच्चे हैं उसमें, एक मैं भी था हमारे तुम्हारे में. तो 79 एक्चुअली इन अ वे फिल्म रिलीज, तो 79 से 2022 कितने साल हो गए? 43 years. So I am, you can say, since 43 years I am in this business.
Many cheers to you, sir. And भगवान आपको और बहुत लंबी उम्र दे, sir. Sir, there is a very beautiful incident in the book that we have referred to. After the sad demise of Haribhai, when the will had to be probated, there was Jyoti ji and there was Uday ji, and it took 6 lakhs to probate the will. And your brother was the first one to come forward and give money to Jyoti ji and Uday ji and say, go ahead and probate the bill. Are you aware of this, sir?
No, I'm not aware of this.
So I'm telling sir something that he doesn't know, thankfully, about Sanjeev ji. So sir, your entire family has a very abiding relationship. I think Surinder sir was with Shammi ji at some point.
Absolutely.
And yeah. Haribhai, Surinder sir and Shammi ji were very close.
Yes.
So I think it's a long and abiding relationship with your family.
Yeah,
would you like to comment on that?
They were drinking friends. No, we have to enjoy today. We have to have a lot of fun. Let's, they were drinking friends, and all 3 of them were fond of drinking. So my dad was very fond of drinking. Haribhai was very fond of drinking. And we have had some great meals. And Haribhai used to love my cooked food made by my mother. And used to love the payas which my mother used to make. And he would just go completely, so he would love food so much. And my mother she is, one of the finest cook in the film fraternity. I can vouch that. And her payas and her palau and everything made, Haribhai just loved it, absolutely loved it. So yes, actually, my father was Sanjeev Kapoor's secretary, and used to, and of course, those were the days. There was nothing called secretary or assistant and all. Everybody lived absolutely equally, and everybody was treated like a family. So they all were like a family. It's just that it was a kind, a title that he's a secretary, but actually he was a family member of, and Haribhai and all were there. So there we would go, and Shami uncle used to have a lot of parties at his Blue Heaven, which is there in Malabar Hill, his house over there, and Haribhai used to come over there, and so they were very friendly. So it is their friendship also which really, to a certain extent, the reason for Haribhai to say yes to Hum Panch.
Ji.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Uday, I can go on. Sorry, I've got too many
incidents. Please go on. We are here for you.
Sorry.
Uday ji, about the food that Haribhai liked at home, I think he had a lot of Gujarati dishes, and he had a favorite restaurant in Bandra. All of that we've mentioned in the book. Would you like to take us through some of his other favorite food items?
Like Anil said, paya, I know, because there were a lot of paya parties which I used to attend, so paya was his favorite. And khichda. Basically, in the house was veg.
What is khichda?
It's But mutton and
It's lamb and dal.
yeah, like something like a dal gosh or something.
Dal gosh.
So basically that was it. And Chinese, the gazebo that time was in Rhode Island. So gazebo was his favorite joint. So he used to be there a lot of things. Times like that.
Anilji, looking back, the generation today may not be aware of Hari Bhai's national award winning films. Dastak hai, Koshish hai. I think today's generation will know Hari Bhai by Silsila or Sholay
Trishul.
or Trishul. All
Angur.
time.
All the
Angur.
comedy films he had, fantastic. He was a great comedian. He was one of the finest comedians. I used to love Hari Bhai's timing, sense of timing. People, talk about so many other actors, but he was the best comedian, and being a comedian and having this great timing as an actor is a hallmark of a great actor. Drama, tragedy comes very easy. I'm being very honest, but comedy या तो आप में है या तो नहीं है. कोई सिखा नहीं सकता उसको आपको.
So which brings me to the question, which are your favorite performances of Hari Bhai?
My favorite, I can just keep on telling you, I think every performance from Dastak to Koshish to Sholay to Anamika and Manchali and I've seen all his films and especially all the films which he did. And I think Jaya Bhadri, who's Jaya Bachchan ji now, and Hari Bhai, I think they made a fantastic pair. All the films directed by Gulzar Saab and Hari Bhai, I think it was like Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. Gulzar Saab and Hari Bhai. Andhi, till today I keep on watching again and again and again and again. Mausam, these films are phenomenal. The music is, in the morning
R.D.
also when I'm
Burman
getting
sir.
ready, R.D. Burman Saab's music, Gulzar Saab's lyrics, his direction, Hari Bhai's acting. They're all films which are absolutely classics. And आज भी सुबह उठता हूँ मैं अपना मेकअप करता हूँ या बाल बनाने होते हैं या ऐसा बैठा था सुबह आंधी के गाने लगा लेता हूँ. मौसम के गाने, and there are certain songs sung by even the great Bhupender Singh, in Mausam they are evergreen songs, and all the songs in Andhi also are evergreen. Music.
तेरे बिना जिंदगी से कोई शिकवा तो नहीं.
Absolutely. And so there are so many, I can just go on and on, from the time. Then I've seen a lot of his stunt films also. Hari Bhai, he was, Raja Aur Rank was one of the first films as a kid when I saw. Raja Aur Rank were other, in a way, Raja Aur Rank would have not been possible if Hari Bhai was not there in the film. Raja Aur Rank were two new boys, but actually, basically, the film was headlined by Sanjeev Kumar, Raja Aur Rank, and it was a Golden Jubilee hit. Absolutely a Golden Jubilee hit, I remember.
Anil sir is talking about times when you can imagine a young, shirtless Sanjeev Kumar sir looking like a chocolate boy, wearing just a waistcoat. That is the time he's talking about, and there are so many reviews at the time. And Sanjeev Kumar made the arduous journey from these kind of stunt films to mainstream, hero. And since Anil sir spoke about Martin Scorsese has made a list of 40 films you must watch before you die. And one of them is Shatranj Ke Khiladi.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I was in Lucknow 2-3 days back, and that's what I mentioned. I said I've never ever shot in Lucknow, but I remember Lucknow only with Shatranj Ki Khiladi. I think Lucknow, Sanjeev Kumar Sahab, because Satyajit Ray Sahab, one of the greatest filmmakers of the world on planet till today, made a film, first Hindi film, and who does he cast? He cast Sanjeev Kumar. I'm sure anybody would have just posted it in front of him and said, please, mujhe le lo. But he casted Sanjeev Kumar for Shatranj Ki Khiladi. And the film was critically acclaimed all over the world. And I'm sure not only the film also, but he made Lucknow with his appearance in Shatranj Ki Khiladi. The great Satyajit Ray and the great Sanjeev Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Shatranj Ke Khiladi, of course, is set in British times. It is about two Nawabs who love chess so much that they forget that the British want to take over their territory. They keep playing chess. So it's a beautiful film. Uday ji, you know, you mentioned to me that when you were a child, so many people used to come to meet Hari Bhai at home, and घर में सुबह 10 बजे से 2 बजे तक कम से कम रोज 40-50 लोग आ ही जाते थे. उदय जी, can you please share some of those memories?
I used to be in his room and play with him. So yeah, a lot of people used to come and. So there were some people. Jamnath ji was the secretary. So there were some people like कौन आया. So जो खास या important रहते थे तो बोलते ठीक है रूम में भेजो. बाकी बोलते थे चमचे लोग भगा दो उनको. So that's what it is used to be. So but then they used to still stay over, have lunch, and then they used to go. So that's.
And also, Uday ji, his abiding relationship with Ba, his mother. You know, many of you will not know that Hari Bhai died on the same day as his mother, but 6 years later. Ba died on 6 November 1979. Hari Bhai died on 6 November 1985. So, Uday ji, if you could take us through that special relationship.
I think for Ba, my uncle, and for him, Ba, they were like, you know, like one soul or one person or whatever you want to say. For him, he used to come late from shoot. He used to wake up, you know, sit with him and speak to him, कि कैसा गया, क्या नहीं, and serve him food and everything. And same way for Ba also. Like he used to always, whatever Ba used to say, he used to listen. He never said anything, nothing against Ba, just smile and okay, that's it, you know, it's done. So that's the relationship they had. And I remember, I think it's in the book also. So when he used to drink, when he started drinking, he used to drink outside. So Ba came to know that, you know, you're drinking outside. She said, नहीं आज से तू यहाँ घर पे ही बैठ के मेरे सामने ही पिएगा. I don't want you, you know, drinking outside and people, you know, saying कि आपका लड़का ऐसा कर रहा है. So then that's how it, you know, their thing or relationship was. And she forgot, you know, same thing, same day for it happened. So I think it was something.
It's a very, very divine relationship. Anil ji, how will history remember Hari Bhai? And you are also here for a very, very special reason other than your memory, to probably ensure that history does remember Hari Bhai. Thanks to your presence, you have made the story known to so many more people. Thanks to your presence here today.
No, absolutely. I'm you know, nobody compared to, you know, the kind of achievements, and it's an honor and privilege that you know, say such kind words. But to be honest with you, I think, you know, his films have stood the test of time. His relationships have stood the test of time. His generosity will stand the test of time. Actors will come and go, performances will come and go, but he will always be remembered forever and ever because the kind of work he did. And the unfortunate part is that I think life took him away very, very early in his life. He had definitely 30, 40 years or more acting left in him. You know, that's the only, you know, unfortunate part, because I'm sure, but still, whatever, it's not the length of time which you spend on this planet, but it's the quality and the kind of work which you do, and that's what he did, and he'll be always remembered as one of the greatest actors of Indian cinema, and a trailblazer, and a person who I think generations will admire. Not only generations which has come, few generations which have come after him, but many more generations, even after all of us, will remember Sanjeev Kumar, the greatest, one of the greatest actors of Indian cinema. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Uday ji, any closing remarks from your side?
Just that this book was long overdue, I guess, and you know, finally it's here. And first we were too reserved to write a book or write a bio or anything. But then we said, like, you know, there are a lot of things said about him, or you know, in the social media especially, which is not true. So a lot of, you know, my children sometimes used to ask me, कि you know, ऐसा है, ये सच है क्या? I said नहीं यार. So I thought this is high time that, you know, जो सच है वो बाहर आ जाए, जो book में लिखा है वही किया हमने, जो really है जैसे थे वो ही हमने book में लिखा है कि सच हो बस, और कुछ नहीं सच.
With your permission, Anil ji, I'll read a small para from the book.
Please, please, please.
You know, I am so grateful to Gayatri Ben, Sanjeev Kumar's real sister, who died in 2021. She and Udayji's mother, and Udayji, of course, are the three pillars of this book. And it would be remiss of me to not mention all three of them today. Gayatri Ben remembers their childhood. Jyoti Ben remembers everything after 1971, since the day she got married to the day Hari Bhai died. So between the three of them, we were able to charter the entire course of Hari Bhai's life. And that is why this book exists today. As an actor, Hari has many firsts and crazy risks to his credit. He was the first actor to introduce prosthetic makeup in Hindi cinema in 1981 with Chehre Pe Chehra. He was also the first actor to play 9 different roles in one Hindi film, Naya Din, Nayi Raat. It may also be said that Hari's Andhi was one of the first films to be banned in independent India. Hari had a favorite chair in his drawing room and a picture of K. Asif, the maker of Mughal-e-Azam, who was the first to visualize Hari in the role of a lead in his magnum opus, Love and God. The picture of K. Asif was hung in Hari Bhai's drawing room, and Hari would seek Asif Sahab's blessings on his way to work every day. In 2013, Forbes, in an article titled 25 Greatest Acting Performances of Indian Cinema, one of them was Angur. Whether you're ranking Hindi cinema's best lead roles, best comic roles, best character performances, or best negative roles, at least one movie of Hari Bhai is sure to be in the list. Hari's life epitomizes the saying, a flame that burns twice as bright lasts half as long.
Absolutely beautiful, fabulous. And before we, I think if anyone wants to ask any questions, they can, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Harshil, if you
Sure.
want to ask, or any, please go ahead and.
So first of all, thank you for the wonderful insights in the life of Hari Bhai and how he became Hari Bhai to Sanjeev Kumar. So that is one question. And, he must have performed umpteen number of plays right here. We have Tejpal Auditorium. It's just
Yes.
like a minute away from this iconic place. So a huge round of applause on the, remembering Sanjeev Kumar, and it should reach out to the Tejpal Auditorium on remembering him, his wonderful performances, and how Hari Bhai became Sanjeev Kumar. Obviously, theatre plays a very vital role in his life. And every director on seeing him would have sung this line, Tum aa gaye ho, because he was a person who would never fail any of the directors, and that's how he was. So I would love, to say something more about his journey from Hari Bhai to Sanjeev Kumar, any one of you. The question, and then to the audience, if you all have, you all can kindly raise, I'll pass on the mic. Thank you.
So it was Savan Kumar Tak Sahab who gave him the name Sanjeev Kumar. So initially ऐसा था that उस time पे कुमार बड़े चल रहे थे, राजेंद्र कुमार, दिलीप कुमार. So when Hari Bhai went to him, he said, तेरा नाम कुमार होना चाहिए. And then the question was, what should be the first name? So then Savan Kumar Tak Sahab said that Sanjay कर देते हैं, संजय कुमार बन जा. Then तभी संजय खान एक यंग एक्टर थे और उनकी एक पिक्चर बड़ी सक्सेसफुल हो गई. तो सावन कुमार तक साहब called him again, संजय नहीं संजीव बन जा. So that is the journey of Hari Bhai to Sanjeev Kumar.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Harshil.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah. Just keep it related to the book itself. Kind request. Thank you.
So I was briefly going through your book and watching the pictures. So there was one picture with Shivaji Ganeshan. And if you recollect, he has also done this 9 roles. So was it a copied film from there? That is where the inspiration came from. Right?
It is basically, it was an adaptation of the film which Shivaji Ganeshan ji had done. Like, for example, Bosat Din also is an adaptation of Andel Natkal. So there are certain adaptations. Then what they would do is take the rights of the film and adapt it to the the sensibility which will reach to different Hindi speaking states and other internationally also to the Indian diaspora. So it's an adaptation of the film originally which Shivaji Ganeshan Saab had done. This is what my recollection is. I'm sure that is the truth also.
Yeah.
They were great friends too, Shivaji Ganeshan and...
Yeah, one sec.
Yes, Kadir bhai.
Sir, I am coming from Surat, former mayor Surat. हरी भाई का हमने वहाँ ऑनर किया था राज साहब के साथ ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ कॉरपोरेशन और गवर्नमेंट. और हरी भाई के गुजरने के बाद हमने सूरत शहर में संजीव कुमार मार्ग बनाया और दत्त साहब ने वो उसका ओपनिंग किया था. और उसके बाद सबसे बड़ी बात, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात ने संजीव कुमार ऑडिटोरियम 70 करोड़ से ज़्यादा जिसका ओपनिंग हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी साहब ने किया था. और वो मेमोरी आज भी याद है. और संजीव साहब का पूरा फैमिली सूरत से था, उनकी मकान, उनके बच्चे, मतलब ये उदय और ये सारी फैमिली वहाँ से थी. और आज मुझे प्राउड है कि आप यहाँ पे हैं और हम संजीव साहब को सलाम करते हैं. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
I just want to let everyone know that Kadir bhai is a very important contributor in the book. So media people अगर यहाँ पे हैं तो please उनसे बात कीजिए. His memories have contributed to making this book closer to the truth of what Hari bhai was. Kadir bhai, thank you.
Thank you. Anil sir, one question for you. If anyone whom you think of if it's adapted into a movie, whom would you like to see portray as? Any thoughts of yours?
See, I say, I feel कुछ भी आप करने जाओ, this is, I feel without the blessings of the family, वो पनपती नहीं है. क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं, it's not a very easy task to cast anybody in a film. So I think there will be a thorough process which will happen before we, before all of us decide who the person who will. So I can't just. It's not something which is very casual or favorless. कि मैं किसी का भी नाम ले लूँ. He has to deserve. He has to be capable, and he has to have the passion and the kind of love we have for Hari bhai. He should have the same thing when he comes in front of the camera. Otherwise, फायदा नहीं है. You understand? So he has to. I think whoever he will be has to fight for it. It's not. I'm not going to. We're not going to do it just कि किसी को भी ले लेंगे. ऐसा नहीं होगा.
Wonderful. Thank you for this wonderful answer. I one of instances of Sanjeev Kumar. Everyone has seen Silsila, like the dialogue between Jaya Baduri ma'am and Sanjeev Kumar saab, while they are saying and sort of discussing about what to be done next. So what is the role of Raja? And the way he explains, Raja ka kaam hai logo ki bhalai karna, nyay dena. And the way he explains, itself talks about his life, how jovial, how generous, and how wonderful as a human being he is. And that's what has come up in the movies and what he has enacted, like Mausim or Dil Dhoonta Hai, the wonderful song what Gulzar Saab and his both the, as you all rightly said. So any other questions? Yeah, because we can go on and ask questions. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Suhana.
Hi, Suhana.
Congratulations Rita ji on this book. Hello Anil ji, hello Uday ji. I don't have a question, I'll just share something. So my grandmother, she's no more, but two favorite films, all-time favorite films that she had. One was Sangam, because that was her idea of romance, even though she was from another generation. And one was Yahi Hai Zindagi. And for her, that movie was the whole philosophy of life. Every situation in life, she could kind of corroborate with the film ka moments or the journey of the character, and every real person in life somehow connected to that film. So I just wanted to maybe remember Sanjeev ji with that film and the idea of God coming and participating in someone's journey of life. So whoever the writer is, I'm sorry, I do not know, but such a beautiful film and such a wonderful character that he played.
Again, Yahi Hai Zindagi was an adaptation of a South Indian film. Yahi Hai Zindagi, and it was made, I think if I'm not mistaken, by B. Nagi Reddy. And Yahi Hai Zindagi, and I remember I was just starting off as an actor, and if I'm not mistaken, I tried to get that film as an actor, because there were other roles also, but unfortunately I couldn't be part of it. But Yahi Hai Zindagi was one of my favorite films also, and it was a big success. And it's a lovely film where he appears, wo prakat hote hain as the Almighty. That's one of the reasons that when we were casting Hum Panch, and we needed someone who would play Krishna. And I said, kisko le? There's nobody better than him. So, that was his stature, that was his personality, that was his aura, not only as an actor, but as a human being, his smile, one of the greatest, finest smiles you can ever. वो हंसते तो खिल जाता था, पूरा room, पूरा screen खिलता था. So his anger, when he would be angry, he didn't need to punch 100 people or punch 100 times. Just with his eyes, he could kill people with his anger. When he holds someone, when he talks to Gabbar Singh, and he would smile and do comedy, and you would be completely dil gadgad ho jata tha. That was Sanjeev Kumar. Beautiful smile and a fierce anger. A combination. Sanjeev Kumar.
I think this book, with his amazing humility, sir, we are so honored because you have elevated Hari Bhai for all of us once again, and you have made, I'm sure that every youngster will now look at you and want to revisit Hari Bhai's films that start in the 1960s. So, thank you so much, Anilji. We are in your debt. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank all of you all. And I thank you and thank Uday Bhai for giving me this opportunity. And I'll always be grateful. Thank you so much.
So with that note, I would now request to unveil the book. After that, we would, if anyone wants to get a signed copy from Anil sir, Uday sir and Rita ma'am, please kindly form a queue. And media request, please hold on, and definitely we will have the photo op opportunity. Thank you.
Come on, pray for us, pray for us. मन में हमारे लिए ऊपर वाले के लिए हरि भाई के लिए just say a few good words and bless us and bless Hari's soul. May he live in our memories forever and ever. Do that for me, for us, please, all of you. भाई कितना भी स्माइल करूँ ऐसी स्माइल नहीं आती हरी भाई जैसी स्माइल नहीं आती नॉट पॉसिबल वो आंखें वो स्माइल बहुत कोशिश की मुश्किल है